My name is Edward R. Murrow. I was a reporter, a broadcaster, and for a time, a witness to a chapter of American history when fear learned how to dress itself up as responsibility. I am speaking today to those who organize gatherings, conferences, congresses, summits, the people who decide who gets invited into the room and under what conditions. I should say plainly, I am not a fan of artificial intelligence. I come from a time when words were spoken by people who stood behind them and history was recorded by human voices, not simulated ones. But I also understand this. Every era must find its own way to hear old warnings. If the only way some people will listen now is by hearing what a voice from history might say when confronted with familiar logic wearing unfamiliar clothes, then the method is less important than the lesson. And the lesson is this. I covered a period when institutions convinced themselves that screening belief was the same as protecting the public, when people were judged not by what they intended to do, but by what they had once said, often long ago, often without context, often before they had fully become who they were. Those policies were introduced cautiously, they were defended soberly, and they were justified as temporary. They did not fail loudly, they failed quietly, by teaching capable people to stay away. If entry into a country or participation in a gathering begins to require retrospective purity, a review of old expression, old jokes, old anger, old mistakes, the result is not safety. The result is absence. To the organizers listening, history shows that you will not be forced out of markets by politics. You will adjust because friction changes behavior. People do not boycott rooms they fear. They simply stop entering them. Some will argue this is no different from modern accountability, from people losing jobs over past statements. That debate belongs to culture. What concerns me is when governments begin to formalize that logic, when the state itself asks for speech as evidence before granting permission. That is not accountability. That is pre-clearance. History is clear on this point. Nations that grow confident invite participation. Nations that grow anxious audit it. If this message reaches you through unfamiliar means, remember why. History does not repeat itself verbatim. It adapts. The responsibility of your generation is the same as mine was, to recognize old mistakes even when they arrive disguised as innovation. Good night and good luck.